All right, let's get this show going with my first guest, Aaron Board. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Good, good. Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, no problem.
So,
Yeah,
from what the message you just sent me moments ago, you got some music coming out in the summer. Um,
yeah.
so let's get into that. How has it been in the studio recording these songs, and what can your fans expect once this record is released?
Well, I've mainly always been a solo artist since I started doing all this stuff, but I recently put together a band for the studio, and so we just kind of took all these songs that I'd wrote and put some music behind them. Went into the studio, and we're about done recording it now, but I plan on releasing it late July, somewhere around in there. But it'll be my first album. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. Just getting the opportunity to you know to get some solo music out and everything. So, do you have a first single, or are you just gonna have it out at the same time?
Yeah, I'm planning on releasing a single, possibly two of them. I'm trying to decide which ones I'm going to release first, but they'll probably be coming out in a month and a half, 2 months or so from now, and all that'll be accessible on my Facebook page or anything like that.
So, for you as a musician, like, how did it all got started for you? How do what got you into doing music per se?
Well, I've played drums since I was pretty young, probably 15 or 16 years, and played in several bands and played around. And eventually I just got kind of bored with it and wanted to learn other stuff, so I started learning guitar and a little bit of banjo and stuff like that. Basically anything I could get my hands on. And then a couple years ago, I'd always tried to write songs, but nothing ever really came out. Finally, a couple years ago, I just started writing songs and didn't throw them away. I kept them and, you know, started playing them out for people to hear and just kind of got past that whole barrier of judgment, and but it's been fun. It's been good. It's kind of like I've told several people, writing music is kind of like medicine. It all these things that you need to deal with in life and stuff, you can just write about it and get it off your chest, and been a pretty healing experience for sure.
One thing is certain about music is that it is definitely a form of expression. Get your feelings out there, whether it pertains yourself or whether it pertains someone else, and just every now and then you hear a song that you like that makes you want to party, or song that you can relate to, or someone that you know can relate to, and it
Yeah,
it does have a way of bringing people together, through the
yeah,
good,
for
through
sure.
the good and the bad. So who do you consider as your musical influences?
That's a tough one. Growing up, my dad was real big into Southern rock. My mom was real big into like '70s stuff, like Pink Floyd and all that. So I listened to a lot of different music growing up. My both of my papaws played bluegrass music and gospel music, so I kind of had a lot of different influences. So I loved all that old stuff growing up, and I still listen to it. But I'd say some modern day influences would be uh, Jason Isbell is a big influence. He's a phenomenal songwriter, and folks like that, John Moreland, just the really heartfelt solo music, that really grabs people's attention. That's kind of what I gravitate towards now, it seems like.
Definitely, when we all young, our parents, they love to play certain music, and
Yeah,
every now and then you hear it multiple times, and as you get older and you hear and get an understanding about it, you be like, oh, now see they like certain songs, certain people, just
right.
it soothes the soul, Uh,
Yeah.
my parents always be playing. Well, my dad in particular, he loves playing some Stevie Wonder,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't even know he was blind until I got older and started learning more about his music and stuff. And
Yeah.
phenomenal artists, and just just him and the piano, they just go together like peanut butter and jelly. It just do.
Yeah.
Just music back then. As a guy that listens to, even today's music, like old school is always gonna rule. The old school
Yeah.
people that paved the way for today's artists. So it's just it stands to the test of time even after all these years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I believe so too, man. It was like music was a big, made a big revolution back then, when everybody started experimenting more and, pushing the boundaries. But I think nowadays we're kind of in the same thing, especially around where I'm at in Kentucky, music's like coming back around, like it's, everything comes back around and, it's like this whole big music community, and everybody playing and, playing with each other. And it's pretty crazy, man. It's interesting to watch for sure.
That is absolutely true. It definitely felt like music back then. Like you said, it was definitely a revolution. You know, substance.
Yeah,
Nothing over the top per se, but you definitely get the point across.
yeah,
And maybe I guess for some artists, maybe people need some inspiration just to really get back to the swing of things. Um,
yeah,
it's definitely an uphill battle for local artists. I've support local music for several years, and I see the passion is there. They a lot of talented artists is there, and I just wish that people would give local artists more of a chance. Just
yeah,
at least give them at least listen to a song or two. Um,
hmm
you know, but to each his own. I guess
yeah,
I definitely tell that it's an uphill battle. It's not about just getting someone's attention. It's about just keeping that person in tune, I guess.
right. That's kind of what I was saying, with, like back in the day, it was like a revolution in music and everybody supported all these people, and that's why they became what they were. And now, like, especially in Kentucky, there's a lot of support for local music around here. Like there really is. It might not be where we want it to be, but it's definitely on the right path for sure for all this underground music and undiscovered artists and stuff. So it's definitely on track to do good things, I think.
Definitely agree with that for sure. So, where can people go to check out your social media feeds, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any other links that people need to keep an eye on?
Yeah, so it's Aaron Boyd Music. Sorry, the phone was cutting out there. Aaron Boyd Music on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, I do a lot of work on my Facebook page, and I got a website that'll be coming soon, and that'll be announced through Facebook and Instagram and all that. But yeah, so that's probably the best place to keep up with me is through Facebook. Aaron Boyd Music.
Well, Aaron, it was great having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I'm definitely looking forward to this album, this record in the summer. Whether we all in the spring season now, so whether we'll eventually get warm, and
Yeah,
for some reason having music out in the summer seems to be the best time. When the
yeah.
weather gets warmer and more festivals and
Hmm.
people get out and doing things. So
Yeah,
I'm glad this cold weather is behind us for now.
same here. Yeah,
So um,
yeah, man. I appreciate it, and glad to be a part of it, and I appreciate you hitting me up and